Anybody like to leave? That's good. You all position yourself nicely so the camera gets you. Well done over in the corner.
Oh, point, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, very good. So safety evacuations, evacuation details and information are located on the wall near the entry to chambers. Bless you. In an emergency, an alarm of sound, wardens will assist with your evacuations from the building. If ready, please evacuate the car in an orderly manner via the reception area. Go directly to the evacuation point in the car park beside the town hall. The audio and visual recording is on. Thank you. I declare the meeting open at 5:02 p.m. Item one, we have no apologies for this meeting. Thank you. Acknowledgement of country. I begin today by acknowledging the Palatura Pangaea past peoples, the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which we gather today, and I pay my respects to elders past and present. I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today, and I note that this last week was NAIDOC Week, which the council was very supportive of. Item 4 is confirmation of the minutes that council received. It confirms the minutes of the last ordinary meeting. Do I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Dudman and Councillor House. Any discussion on the minutes? No, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. Declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest from the councillors?
There are, Mayor, we have 2 declarations of interest, one from Councillor Dudman and one from Deputy Mayor Cameron. They're both in relation to item 17.1 community grants and sponsorships.
Thank you, Chair. Moving on to the council workshop report. So that is on page 8 of our agenda. We then move on to the Mayor and Councillor reports, and I'll leave that off. I just want to acknowledge the resignation of Councillor Christine Cronshaw following the June 2026 council meeting, and thank her for her contribution to both council and the Meander Valley community. I'd also like to pass condolences on to Berwin Hewitt's family. Berwin passed away a couple of weeks ago. Berwin was a member of the Deloraine community for a long, long time, a member of the Apex Club of the Deloraine Dramatic Society, and numerous other things in that area. I didn't realise until his funeral that he was actually one of the first people to actually put music up through the main street of Deloraine, and he did that off his own back. So he passed that condolences on to Berwin's family. Are there any other councillor announcements? Councillor Cynthia.
Yes, just that I attended the Carrick Hall Committee meeting in June after the council meeting, and also the Blackstone Heights Community News Association meeting on the first Wednesday of the month. And just to correct the record, which I think has been done sort of off file, you might say, I wasn't at the workshop because I was in hospital.
Thanks, Councillor Sinfield. Any other announcements? Councillor Dudman.
Thanks, Mayor. Just 2 quick announcements from me. Off the back of NAIDOC Week, as you mentioned, a massive thank you to our local Aboriginal community participating in 2 key NAIDOC Week events. One at the Information Centre in Deloraine for a flag raising ceremony, and as well at Deloraine House for a unveiling of the peace pole, which was contributed by the Orochi Club of Deloraine and includes Pawakani on it. It's one of the 4 languages celebrated. And there was a lunch fun as well, which included cultural foods. It was a really important celebration, 50 years of NAIDOC, celebrating 50 years of Deadly. And it was great to be joined by so many community members, particularly Deloraine House. A special thank you to Sky for her work in ensuring it was a great success, and I'm sure it will be going in the future as well. If I can also take a moment to congratulate Ira Stretton from Prospect Vale. Ira is 7 years old and last week was selected to represent Tasmania in the under-8s futsal team. So in January next year, he will be heading over to Sydney to compete in the national competitions as part of a team of 9. And from that, there will be, of course, international competitions, which an Australian team will be selected from. So that will occur, and that will be happening in Europe as well later that year. So best of luck to Ira there. He was the only Northern Tasmanian selected in the side. So that's a great achievement, and with Taylor Conflict, he is my nephew, so I'm incredibly proud of him. So best of luck to him in January.
Thanks, Councillor Donovan. Councillor Later, Councillor House, thank you.
Well, thank you. I likewise.
Microphone, please, Councillor.
Sorry. Likewise to Councillor Sinfield, I attended the Blackstone Community News AGM as well as I think Councillor Later. And as well. So yeah, I just want to acknowledge great work that they do with Blackstone Heights. And also congratulate the outgoing and incoming office bearers there. As with all community groups, they do a lot of work. And it's just great to recognise their contribution.
Thanks, Councillor House. Any other discussion, councillors, on that one? No. Thank you. We'll move on. Page 11 is petitions. No petitions were received for this meeting. Are there any from the gallery? Take that as no. Thank you. Community representation. No community representation were received for this meeting. Are there any from the gallery? Take that as no. We then move into public question time. So public questions with notice. There were no questions with notice that were received at this meeting. We then move into public questions without notice. So you're allowed two questions, 3 minutes, and to address the councillors. And I'll open that up now, public question time. So ask if there's any questions from the gallery. Very good. Okay. Thank you. That was one of the shortest question times I've had as a mayor. So I now close public question time. So councillor question time. Councillor questions with notice. Councillor questions with notice from last meeting are included in the agenda. I don't think there were any. That's one. Sorry. Councillor Sinfield. That's been answered, gentlemen. Yes, that's. So then we move on to councillor questions without notice. Are there questions without notice from councillors? Councillor Loader.
Thank you, Mayor. Is it possible to have an update on the progress with the Westbury Town Hall refurbishment, please?
Yeah, I'm going to refer that to the general manager on that one.
No problem. So, well, I haven't prepared anything, but I can certainly talk through what has been occurring, Councillor Loader. So, our council formed a decision, I think it was December 2025, that they would progress with upgrades to the Westbury Town Hall and the supper room. Since that time, there's been a number of discussions with council management and the councillors around the scope of that project. Council has engaged an architect to work on building design, an electrical engineer to work on the design of upgrades to power and Ethernet, and an audio visual specialist to work on the sound and the vision for our live streaming, with the intention that the Westbury Town Hall will be our council chambers for our monthly meetings. So all of those things have occurred. The concepts for that design have been workshopped and are nearing finalisation for design elements. A number of meetings with those consultants, an initial meeting with a representative of the Westbury Historical Society, just as an update to them, informal discussions with Garden Club. I think that's probably all from me. Okay.
Thank you, Jan. Any other questions? Councillor Loader.
Thank you, Mayor. A concerned Red Hills resident is keen to know if bin collection is coming to their area. There has been discussion about expanding bin collection. Are there any concrete plans to include Red Hills this financial year?
Jan.
Well, I can confirm that there are no concrete plans for that to be delivered to Red Hills this financial year. So that's that we do know. council's waste and resource recovery strategy provides a target that we will be, I think investigating is the term that we use, the expansion of, potential expansion of the curbside bin collection service to areas that don't have curbside collection at the moment. So that would be places like Chudley, Knoll Creek, those sorts of areas, the townships, and Red Hills is kind of on the way there, I suppose you'd say. So, yeah, the commitment at the moment is that within the next 2 years we will be consulting with a view of potential expansion or a decision not to expand. That's the current target that we have. Oh, and we plan to make a start on that review in this financial year. Doesn't mean we'll be finished. So.
Thank you, Jim. Any other questions, councillors? Councillor Sinfield.
Finish your last one.
You go.
The word concrete's been used. A very gentle question. I'm not drawing any parallels whatsoever, but we had a recent very sad death in Victoria from a footballer playing on a field that has a concrete wicket area. Does council in this municipality have any similar pictures, and if so, to what extent are they different in terms of what might cover it, etc.? So just a general concern in that area.
Thanks, Councillor Sinfield.
Yeah, it was very sad. Absolutely, and yes, we do, councillor. So I'll pass to the Director of Works.
Thanks, GM. Thanks, Councillor Sinfield, for the question. Matthew, Director of Works. Yes, we do. We have one pitch that's used for winter sport as well. So the concern is really that mix of summer winter sport and how that's protected. So that has what we believe is a suitable cover over that, and then earth adjoining that cover. But council will be undertaking some testing of that surface, like we do all surfaces across the summer period for hardness, just to ensure that that does meet the guideline off the back of that tragedy on the mainland. So that's the directive that's come through from AFL and through the local NTFA to ensure that obviously council's doing what we need to do, and obviously clubs in relation to ground checks and things prior to game as well. But we'll formalise some testing and provide some advice back to the NTFA, the local league, in the coming few days.
Thank you, Matthew. Follow up, Rodney?
Can we name that ground or? Rather not.
Okay. So we can do it if we...
Yeah, look, that ground's the Bracknell football ground.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthew. Any other questions, councillors? Councillor Oda?
Thank you, Mayor. Do we know when the Moore Street Dog Park will be open, and when it's open, how will the community be notified?
Ready, Matthew? Very useful.
Thanks, Councillor Oda, for your question. I'm not the comms specialist at council, as we probably know, but I expect the council will be providing some communication in regard to that, and that's usually by our social media. In terms of timeline, we had expected it would be by the 30th of June. It hasn't obviously been by then. There's further works. We've got some fencing works that have just recently been completed. There's some signage that's been ordered, but not finalised in terms of receipt and placement. There's some trees that have been ordered. There's some minor drainage works that need to be done, which have become quite apparent in recent weeks, that we can see where it's laying a little bit of water that needs some adjustments, and there's some general tidy up around the site that needs to occur. I'd expect that hopefully will all occur over the next 4 weeks.
Thank you, Matthew. Any other questions, councillors? There's no. Thank you for the questions. Moving on to item 12, councillor notices of motion. No notices of motion received at this meeting. Are there any from this meeting? If there is no. All right, we move on then to planning authorities. So in planning matters, council action, the planning authority under Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993 in the agenda item, the section council would acting as planning authority will be referred to as a planning authority, and then the following applies to all planning authority reports, which follows. So we're moving on to item PA 260278. We have Mr. Oliver, who may want to address the council, if that's okay. For you'll be given a microphone, Jake, and you got 3 minutes. I can be leading. I can probably I've been known to go longer than that, so
Thank you.
don't be scared of us.
Thanks. Good afternoon, councillors. My name is Jake Oliver. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. My family and I have lived in the Meander Valley for many years and have always been proud to call the area home. Carrick is a wonderful community and we have enjoyed being part of it. The proposal before you is not a large development or a major change to the area. It is simply an opportunity for our family to create one additional lot from land that we already own. As our circumstances have changed over time, this has become a sensible and practical option for us. When we look around Missisburn Road today, we see an area that has gradually grown and evolved over many years. Properties have been subdivided, new homes are being built, and the community has continued to grow. Our proposal is simply another small step in an ongoing evolution and sits comfortably within the character of the area as it exists today. We also recognise that communities like Carrick need opportunities for people to build homes and put down roots. While this is only one additional lot, it creates the opportunity for another family to live in this community and to contribute to its future. This is a modest proposal that reflects both the way the area has developed over time and our family's desire to make practical use of our property. Respectfully ask councillors to support the recommendation and approve the application. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jake. Are there any other speakers before I put this forward as a motion? Okay, there's no. Okay. Would somebody like to move and then somebody like to second the motion? Councillor Loader is up first. I'll look at that side of the table. Second it, Councillor House. Thank you. Sorry, I was looking over there. I was just Councillor Loader has moved the motion.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for coming and sharing your thoughts with us. Really appreciate that. Developing the Carrick structure plan and the Carrick character study has been a lengthy process. And I understand why a representative questioned why these documents weren't factored into the recommendation. For this subdivision, however, the planning scheme has not yet been amended to incorporate their strategic direction. As the planner explains on pages 24 and 25 of the agenda, today's decision must be made under our current planning provisions. And regarding the other representatives' concerns about drainage, I feel that the planner has effectively addressed how this is going to be managed. So given the permit conditions outlined on pages 21 and 22, I will be supporting the motion today.
Thank you, Councillor Loader. Councillor House, second on the motion.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have much to add. Thank you to the representatives for airing their views, and also to the planners, as always, that put a lot of work into finding out where we sit in terms of the planning scheme. So the applications for a subdivision only, so stormwater would need to be discussed with any future development in any case. And as Councillor Loader has said, there's been no obligation at this point in terms of changing the planning scheme. So it fits well within the current arrangement. So I support it also.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Mr. Oliver, for your representation. I too will be supporting this. It's important to note, and I appreciate the concerns with the stormwater. It's important to note that it is clearly stated on the planning documents that the stormwater can be contained within the lot. And it's also important to note that the natural drainage of the site is away from the street. So I think that should mitigate the concerns raised by one of the representatives. And as Councillor Loader and House have said, we aren't yet at a stage where the TPS, the Tasmanian Planning Scheme, has approved the incorporation of the character study. This was raised last meeting. It is that awkward period where we are hoping to get that in, but we're not quite there yet. And as such, we can only play by the rules that are currently in play, not the ones that we're hoping to include in the near future. So as I said, more than happy to support this.
Councillor Dudman. Any other discussion? Councillor Cameron, do you have anything to add on that?
I think everyone said everything I was going to say, but I think, yes, appreciate the effort that those who put the representations in. I know that it's not always easy to do, but the recommendation in front of us does discuss how some of those things will be mitigated, the large block sizes, and about hydraulic separation and also crossover and things like that. So I am happy to support it. If there's any future development there, it will most likely be coming back to us at some stage. So happy to support as it is.
Thanks, Councillor Cameron. Any other discussion, councillors? If there is no, move on. Councillor House, second on the motion. Nothing to add.
Nothing.
Councillor Loader, nothing to add. I'll put the motion. All those who voted, please say aye and raise your hand. Against? Councillor Temple. So Johnson, Cameron, Dudman, Smedley, Sinfield, Loader, House 4. Councillor Temple against. Passed. Very good. Council no longer acts as a planning authority. Anybody in the gallery that wishes to leave, you can do so if you want to now. Or move on first to the meeting. Page 158 is. Make sure I'm on the right page. Appreciate it on that. Okay. 14. Westbury Historic Town Centre Character Study. Somebody like to move, somebody like to second that, please. Councillor Cameron is the mover, thank you. Seconder.
Sure.
Either. Councillor Dudman, thank you. Councillor Cameron is the mover.
Thank you, Mayor. I have written a few words out so that I can make sure that I don't get tongue-tied, but I do want to start by thanking Thomas and the planning team for their dedication to this document. I know in the workshop we talked a lot about how you really put a lot of effort into it, and I think that's really shown through in what you've produced. And also to thank the community members that did work so closely with us. I know there was a lot of interest in it, and at the drop-in session there was a lot of interest in it as well. And just to thank yourself, Thomas, and the others that were there to help answer those questions, because I think that was a really important part of the process. So as we know, there's much to love about Westbury, and the village green in particular remains a very special heart of this town, and it reminds us of the past, and it also helps us look towards the future of this great place. And I read in this document that there's almost 30 heritage registered listed properties currently within quite a small area. So to me, that tells me that there's something pretty special happening here. And the unique charm of this town was highlighted recently with the Top Tourism Town Award entry. And I know many of you may have seen that video that was part of the submission. And it was pretty powerful and it touched our heartstrings. And I think Councillor Dudman and I talked about how it made us cry, but that was all for the right reasons. So Westbury is pretty special. This study isn't just a piece of paper, but it really is a positive step forward. So I'm really happy to support it. And thank everyone for their work on it.
Thanks, Councillor Cameron. Did you say you and
We cried.
we can't get? I just wanted to get that on the record. That's fine. Councillor Dudman, that's his second motion.
Yeah, Deputy Mayor, I'm going to have to discuss that with you later. I will note, because she's in the room, when Lucy first showed the video, yes, I did cry, and she thought I was faking it for votes, which is just, a wonderful reflection on my character, I think. But no, it is quite an emotive short film, and I think it paints the best parts of Westbury, what Westbury means to all of us, and that's why this character study is so important as well, because it's about protecting what is important for our community, whilst also appreciating that we are an area that will grow for future generations, and that's something that should occur as well. But making sure that we always remember our roots and stay true to our identity. And I appreciate both Lucy and Amanda from the Westbury Historical Society being here today for this item. I'm sure the Westbury Historical Society have had a lot to say about this as well and have made submissions, and we really appreciate their contribution to this. It really is a moment for our community to celebrate the best parts of Westbury and ensure they are protected into the future. It was a subject that had a lot of community consultation too, and by and large that community consultation was positive, which is a sign that the staff, Thomas and the team, have done a fantastic job with encapsulating what it is to be Westbury, the important historical nature and buildings within the town, and ensuring that the views of the community are upheld in this document. I remember when I first got on council, we had a meeting in the White House, and councillors Loader and Temple were there discussing the village green and the area around that and how that needs to be protected. I would like to think that now that this work has been done with the character study, that will go a long way into ensuring that the attributes of Westbury that we find so important are protected for those future generations. And it's really important that, you know, in some areas, it was as it was when Westbury was first founded back in 1823. So it's an important balance to strike, and I think we are achieving that with this character study, so I'm more than happy to endorse it to council.
Thanks, Councillor Dovan. Open up for discussion, Councillor Loader.
Thank you, Mayor, and I may well repeat some of the things that Deputy Mayor and Councillor Dudley have already said, so I apologise for that, but I think this is a very important moment for Westbury. So this character study is a direct response to a community petition presented to Council in April 2023 by concerned residents of the Westbury Village Green. In response, Council expanded that initial request into a comprehensive character study for the key historic areas of Westbury. Consultation has been at the very heart of this study. It stands as a genuine example of local government listening to local people to achieve a truly local outcome. This study is a definitive statement of what matters to Westbury, ensuring future development adds to rather than detracts from the unique village character. I strongly support the key recommendations outlined on pages 159 and 160 of the agenda. In particular, I want to highlight the recommendation to create a significant tree register. This is vital to protect our green canopy and the beautiful trees that define it. The data on page 209 clearly demonstrates that this is a major priority for our community. Once this study takes its next steps in the legislative process, it will allow Council to make decisions that are right for today and protective of tomorrow. I would like to thank the people who took part in the consultation process by attending the drop-in session and those who wrote submissions. I appreciate your time and effort to make your thoughts known. Specifically, I'd like to thank the Village Green residents who got the ball rolling by meeting together and organising the petition. Your care and thoughtfulness is truly appreciated, and I strongly support the motion.
Thanks, Councillor Loader. Any other councillors? Questions, comments? No? Well, for my part, thanks, Thomas, and to the team for putting this together. I look back and said we started, I think, after the petition in July 2023. So it takes a little while to get there, but there's a lot of work in this, and also reinforce the comments made by previous speakers of the input that we had from those in the community. And Westbury is a unique place, and it's great to see that there's been this buy-in and this want to continue it further. So thank you. I'll be supporting this going forward. Councillor Sindhu.
If I may, I think the two gentlemen, well-dressed gentlemen at the end of the table here, could we get a contribution from them regarding it's proposed that the tree, if a tree register gets up, you know, is approved by the Planning Commission, that will possibly cover the entire town, whereas we're also advocating a specific area plan for part of the town. Will we get just some input to say why those two things can work together and why one's bigger than the other area. In other words, that they fit in different parts of the scheme. Please.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I suppose the core reason why they are two separate recommendations is that there is a pathway through the planning scheme already for the implementation of a significant tree register, whereas the protection of character requires a unique approach through a specific area plan. The introduction of significant trees as well is that there are, based off of the feedback received during the consultation processes, is that significant trees are an issue that is larger than the core historic town centre area. And I understand that, you just need to go for a walk or a drive around Westbury to see that there are some quite large and notable trees. So in effect, it's because the two recommendations relate to different sort of scopes or sizes.
I ask you, would they be run as a combined thing to the planning commission in terms of timeline, or would they be done independent and one quicker than the other?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, they would be run separately. A specific area plan is something that we could progress quite quickly because we already have the rationale and the background already prepared in the character study itself. A significant tree register would require, as detailed in the recommendations, it recommends the introduction of a significant trees policy to really make it quite clear what we consider to be significant trees and what not, as well as going through a further process to identify the specific significant trees in themselves. So that element of the work hasn't been done as part of this character study, but I suppose the study itself acknowledges that there are significant trees generally that warrant further protection.
Thanks, Thomas. So we're up for our discussion, questions, councillors. If there is no, Councillor Dudman is the seconder, Councillor Cameron is the mover.
Nothing.
Nothing to add with the motion. All those in favour, please say aye, raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to corporate services, page 241. I'll let Craig get up there. Thanks, Thomas. Somebody like to move, somebody like to second. The order panel members, Dudman is the mover. Thank you. Seconder.
Okay.
Councillor Cameron, thank you. Councillor Dudman.
I think I'm happy for them to be taken as read.
Same, but just also to thank those councillors that sit on that important panel.
Thank you.
I like sharing my microphone with you.
Okay. Open up for questions, councillors, comments? No? Okay. Well, I'll do the same, Councillor Deputy Mayor, and so thank you for the councillors who sit on that. Also, it is good to see an audit panel and the minutes that come through on a regular basis. Nothing else, councillors? Councillor Cameron and Dad? Councillor Dudman? No? Put the motion, all those in favour, please say aye, raise your hand. That is unanimous, thank you. Moving on to audit panel annual report. Somebody like to move, somebody like to second that, please. Councillor Dudman, thank you. Second that, Councillor Cameron, thank you. Councillor Dudman.
The same again, Mayor. Look, there's a bulk of work that happens throughout the year. On the audit panel, it is a significant amount of work for staff, independent members and councillors. So my thanks to everyone who is involved with that. But you can see through, the key activities from the past year and what we have done, whether it be from complying with our audit requirements under the Tasmanian Audit Office, which I might note we always have and haven't had an issue that I can certainly remember, to looking at insurance issues and any matter that may arise that presents a risk to council's management. It's a wealth of knowledge that sits around the table, and it's a committee that I'm proud to sit on and be involved with. So more than happy to accept the report from Mr. Gray.
Thank you, councillor Cameron.
I don't think I have anything to add.
Nothing to add.
Thank you.
Okay, councillors, any comments, questions? If that is no, I won't come back to moving a sector because I don't think you've got any data. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say raise your hand. That is unanimous again. Thank you. Moving on to financial report, page 261. Somebody like to move, somebody like to second. Thank you, councillor Dudman. Second, councillor House, I think.
Yes, okay.
Councillor Dudman.
Thank you, Mayor. Apparently I'm the financial nerd of the group. Look, once again, I think I'm happy for this to be taken as read purely because what we can see here is some logical and sound financial reporting. There is nothing there that jumps out to me that is cause for concern that I have questions to. So I'm more than happy to commend these as well.
Thank you, councillor House, as second.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I want to commend all those involved with this report. And, I've said it plenty of times, this council is very fiscally responsible. It manages its affairs very well in terms of finances. And the thing I highlighted, of course, it's always good to note that overall revenue and expenditure are in line with management expectations. So, you really got to be happy when you read that in your report. But a lot of work goes into this report and for all the work that goes behind it. So thank you to all those people involved.
Councillor House, open up for any discussion, councillors. No. I don't think a lot of people out there realise that we run as a business and how big our business is and how many employees we look after. So well done to the GM and the staff, directors. Very happy to be mayor of a municipality that is running very well. So congratulations to you guys and girls. So, the discussion, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye, raise your hand. That is unanimous again. Thank you. Review of policy 68, writing off of debts, page 279. Somebody like to move, somebody like to second. Councillor Loader and Councillor House. Councillor Loader.
Thanks, Mayor. This is what we have to do to satisfy the Local Government Act. The language has just been updated a little bit. Policies are so important. It helps us all know what we can and can't do. So happy to support.
Thank you. Councillor House.
I really have nothing to add, Mayor.
Thank you. Open up for discussion, councillors. Can you add? No. Put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye and raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to infrastructure services. Budget adjustments, page 258. Somebody like to move, somebody like to second. Councillor Cameron. Seconder. Councillor Dudman. Thank you. Councillor Cameron.
Push button.
Thank you. Ben and I are working as a team today with our microphones, so that's important.
First time for everything.
Thank you. Yes, I am happy to support this, and I think, as Councillor House said, one of the previous items, a lot of work goes into getting budgets right, and we've received some grant revenue or some grant funding for a few projects, which is excellent, and looking forward to seeing those projects come to life. And also noting that the Deloraine Racecourse Precinct, there was a few things there, unplanned circumstances, but they have been rectified, and the ground is working fantastic. And I've had so many people come up and say how great it is and how alive and wonderful, and it's so good to see people and how proud they are of the driveway and the signage. So thank you. I can't thank you enough for that. And I'll just pass it to you. There you go, sweetheart.
Have you finished, Councillor Cameron?
Oh, I think Ben was giving me those. Yes, he was ready.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done. No, I appreciate the cooperation, Deputy Mayor. I accept your nomination for Deputy Mayor again to my mayoralty. But no, on this subject, I think you've cleared everything that needs to be said. It's a really minor variations, largely due to the awarding of grants. So an overall change of $301,000. I'm more than happy to support it.
Thanks, councillor. Open up for discussion, councillors. Ladies, no discussion, no questions. Well, I'll put the motion in. All those in favour, please say aye, raise your hand. So it is unanimous, thank you. Moving on to governance, community wellbeing, which is page 289. Community grants, we have some people to step out. Declared an interest. Thanks, councillors. Mover and seconder, please. Councillor Loader, Councillor House. Councillor Loader.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm really pleased to support the grant and sponsorship allocations for this first round of the 2026-27 financial year, as outlined in our agenda today. The major project grant is a once-a-year opportunity, and Landcare Tasmania's application is highly recommended. Their project demonstrates broad benefits for the Meander Valley, particularly by boosting volunteer capacity and directly supporting local land care groups. Timing this with their annual conference in Deloraine this November means we will see real practical environmental projects happening in our municipality. For the 3-year event grant, Arts Deloraine's Games to Games project is recommended. It's a great concept that comes directly from feedback from our local young people. Plus, it's really good that staff found a way to still support the Tasmanian Heirloom Festival with a separate $5,000 grant. The remaining grant recipients are outlined in the agenda. As always, the committee sat down with the aim of ensuring the community gets good value for money and that each recipient meets the specific guidelines. However, we are always keen to find a way to support our community. Even though a couple of applicants weren't recommended this time, staff will be meeting with them to discuss their applications further. I'd also like to note the reimbursement grant for Perth Steam World. It's good that council can support community organisations in practical ways by reimbursing local government regulatory fees. This will be money well spent in our environment, our young people and our volunteers, and I'm very happy to support this motion.
Thanks, Councillor Loader. Councillor House.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Yes, I agree with all that. Councillor Loader was very eloquently gone into the specifics, I suppose, and it's also been mentioned covered very well in the report. So thank you to Nate. I think they might put that report together. I guess I'd like to just speak a little bit more generally, if I could, and that is, and also thank my fellow councillors on that committee, Temple and Loader. It's a great pleasure to be on that committee because I guess we just get to understand how much volunteering contributes to our community, how many people contribute in so many ways through the volunteer organisations. And by being on this committee, I guess we just find out exactly how many of those people there are. And that's why we live in the terrific place that we do. I've got no doubt that we live in one of the best places on earth, and that's largely to do with the people in our community and what they contribute in time and energy and in so many ways. So I would just encourage others to keep nominating others going forward. We're very happy to, the council is very happy to support those people wherever we can. But I'm just forever proud of the people we have in our community and what they contribute. So this is a great opportunity for us to give back. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor House. Certainly reiterate what the two councillors said, and also thanks to those councillors that sit on that committee. Open up for discussion, councillors, if any at all. So if there's none, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please raise your hand. That is unanimous, thank you. We'll get the other two councillors back in. Moving on to the annual report performance, 25.6, quarter 4 performance, page 295. Somebody like to move, somebody like to second that, please. Councillor Dudman, thank you. Second that. Councillor Cameron, thank you.
Dream team back again. Thank you, Mayor. More than happy to support the quarter 4 performance of our annual plan. I think it shows throughout the document that we have achieved largely what we're setting out to do, and where we haven't, it is clear that there's progression happening, and key reasons why they haven't, but looking through this document right now, there is vast majority where we have set a goal and achieved it in this period, which is really positive to see.
Thank you. Just to reiterate what councillor Dudman said, and when you read through this document and see what has been happening over the year, I guess you could say, there's a significant amount of work there. And when you get right to the end, it says that, you know, we've pretty much done everything or it's progressing. And I think that that is such an excellent outcome. And there's just so much work there to really appreciate everything that has gone into that. And well done.
Mr. Councillor, open up for discussion. Councillors, if any. Councillor Bill.
Just a comment, since we have a gallery that's somewhat Carrick-centric today, the fact that on page 299, the character study adopted by council at the June 26 council meeting scheme amendment will be submitted by December 2026 to the planning.
That was a statement. That was a statement, councillor. Thank you. Okay. Anything else, councillors, to add?
I did think of something.
Councillor Cameron. Oh, you know, we can do it in your
I will if anyone else is finished. I was waiting.
No one else? Back to you, councillor Kelly.
I did highlight actually on page 296, the depot fully relocated to the depot. How exciting is that? And after how many years of now Meander Valley Council operating at one beautiful big depot, and I think that's a massive achievement and something that I think we should all be really proud of.
Thank you, councillor. I'll take that as your summing up as the secretary of the
That was my
motion.
summing up.
Councillor Dudman, anything to add? No. With the motion, all those in favour, please raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. Motion to close the meeting. Somebody would like to move. Councillor Dudman, Councillor House. With the motion, all those in favour, please raise your hand. That is unanimous. Ready to close it. How's that? First time I've ever used that.
I use it all the time when you're on.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you from the gallery. We'll ask you to leave.
I'll say one thing, it's the hearing's not very good.
We're getting in chambers, it might be better.
Right.
You know, you should watch this behind me there.
Yeah.